Utah home sellers, welcome to this training. If you're thinking about selling your home here in Salt Lake County or Utah County, this training is for you because there is a good chance that you're about to make a mistake that could cost you tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And my job is to show you exactly how to avoid that and how to sell your home fast and net the most. So let's dive into it. This training is for you if you're looking to sell your home soon and you want to find the best strategy to do that successfully while avoiding the mistakes and headaches that even represented sellers run into in today's market, unfortunately. This training is also for you if you're planning to sell a home in the future and you want to educate yourself. So when the time comes, you'll have the tools and knowledge that you need, and you will know what to look for in an agent. And also, this training is for you if you know someone who's planning to sell their home and you genuinely care about them. Maybe it's a family member or a close friend. And if you do know that person, please send them this training and they will thank you later. Here's what you will learn today. I will cover the pricing strategy that makes buyers compete and pay over asking price for your home. And I'll also share with you the pricing mistakes that can lower the perceived value of your home. You will find out what buyers actually care about the moment they walk through your door and what turns them off. And lastly, I will share with you how you can gain an unfair advantage in the market. The advantage that will help your home sell faster than your neighborhood average and can net you more money in your pocket. So let's get into it. My name is Emanuel Balmus. I'm a realtor here in Salt Lake County, a top agent on Zillow, and I'm part of the Perry Group, which is basically the #1 team in Utah. We're one of the top Zillow teams in the nation, which can be a massive benefit for you. And I'll share with you why that's the case in a minute. I get to tour a lot of homes with real buyers. So in the last 2 years, I averaged 175 homes per year. And that gives me the advantage of gathering real feedback that comes straight from real buyers that many home sellers can massively benefit from. I've basically stood next to hundreds of buyers and I saw firsthand when they fell in love with a home, but also when they walked away. And I learned what made them walk away. So today, you get that perspective. I don't want you to take my word for it. So let's take a look at what others are saying. For example, Jared here shared his experience working with me. And if you pause this video and read the entire testimonial, you will quickly realize that not all listing agents perform at the same level, unfortunately. So I helped Jared and his family buy the home that they wanted at the right price. Jared is a very data-driven buyer. Okay, so he knew that the home was overpriced. The moment that he wanted to go tour it, he knew that. However, he really liked the home. And my job was to help him understand all the levers that we had in our arsenal to get the property for the right price. And after the property failed to sell for almost 11 months across 2 different listing agents and multiple times being on the contract, we got it. And it was a great deal for my clients. And a lot of important lessons for the sellers. So if you're a home seller, there will be a lot of great takeaways for you in this training. So I highly recommend you eliminate any distractions and pay attention. When I'm not doing real estate, I'm out enjoying everything Utah has to offer. I love paragliding, snowboarding. I always hit the gym in between client appointments. I train martial arts and grew up training martial arts. And basically, I'm doing my best to enjoy the massive playground that this beautiful state has to offer. Now, here's something that matters for you. I spent over a decade studying and working with human behavior as a transformation coach. And I have a bachelor's degree in sociology, which gave me the opportunity to study and understand the impact of the society and the environments on human behavior. So I learned how people think, what drives decision, what drives hesitation, and how to influence behavior and outcomes. And that's the whole game in selling a home, because buyers don't decide based on square footage or new paint and carpet or number of bedrooms and bathrooms. Those are important, but a lot of buyers decide on emotion and perception. They decide based on perceived status and significance. When they get a great deal, they brag about it to everybody. When they win a contract while competing with other buyers, their self-esteem goes up. So it is important to understand how a home makes a buyer feel the moment they walk through the door. And my job is to help you prepare your home and position it so it helps the right buyer feel understood, feel significant. And if they decide to write an offer, we want them to feel like they're winning. They're getting a great deal. And they're excited about their future in your home. And honestly, today's buyer is more sophisticated than ever. They research and have access to more data than ever before. They go on Zillow, Redfin, they look up price history, they use AI, and they do a thorough investigation and research before they tour homes, which means they can easily spot an overpriced home. They can easily differentiate a great deal from a not so great deal or a bad deal. They have access to information. Therefore, I want you to pay attention to this. Your pricing has to create confidence, urgency, and competition in buyers from day one. There's no what we used to call warm-up period anymore, because that approach can and will, in most cases, negatively impact the value of your home and the time that it would take to sell, the time that the property will sit on the market. So listing high to negotiate down later is one of the biggest mistakes sellers make in today's market that backfires big time. That means the property sits longer on the market. There will be multiple price reductions, and that will raise questions among buyers. And I've had the question, what's wrong with this property? Why did they lower the price so many times? And why has it been on the market for so long? I had these questions come from buyers hundreds of times, and that usually leads to lowball offers. Because here's how buyers think. If it was a good deal, it would have sold by now. It's been on the market for so long, so let's try to get a deal. This is how buyers think. So the takeaway here is that the market and the marketing drive your home's value, not the agent, not your emotional attachment to the property, and agents who tell you what you want to hear, but not what you need to hear just to get the listings are going to cost you money. And it can be way more expensive than just the listing commission. And when I say strategic pricing, I don't mean underpricing your home. The goal is that buyers, when you price the home, the buyers should feel like they found the best opportunity in your neighborhood. And guess what happens when you do that properly? When the price is right, you should start seeing showings within 7 days. That's the first indicator that you priced the property the correct way. When the presentation is right in combination with the price, there's a high probability that multiple offers start coming in. Multiple offers create competition. Competing offers drive the price up. And here's a quick case study that shows exactly that. This is a home that we priced right from the beginning here in Draper, where I live. It was listed at $925,000, and it felt like the best deal in the neighborhood from the beginning. Within 3 days of listing it, 5 offers came in, and it sold for $25,000 over asking price. And that is the result of what we do, which is a combination of event pricing plus great presentation plus Zillow showcase and pre-listing marketing. We priced it the lowest while the home looked the best in its category. And that combination created the competition, which drove the price up. This is another case study, and it's the opposite of the first one. The photo of this home, by the way, is not the actual home, but the numbers are accurate. The home was initially listed at $1.195 million. It sat on the market for 100 plus days, and it sold for $925,000, which is $270,000 below asking. I helped my buyer clients get this home, and they were extremely happy with the deal that they got. The difference between having the right strategy or just listing it like everybody else does can cost tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. In this case, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, unfortunately, for the seller. There are two categories of homes in your area that we need to look at before we come up with an actual price range. There are homes that sold fast for top dollar, and there are homes that sat on the market for too long or died. The listings disappeared. No agent should give you a number that is not backed by real data from your area. And the problem is, I see that happen more often than it should happen just to win the listing. Then everyone is hoping and praying that the home sells. Here's a bonus tip for you. Make sure that you tour the homes in your area with your agent before you decide on a listing price. It's important to see what's in your neighborhood and get a real feel for your competition, because that would give you a lot of insights and help you and your agent to price the property correctly and create some great momentum with your listing. Perhaps build a competition-like environment, attract multiple buyers, and have them compete so they drive the value of your home up. Now, let's talk about the costly mistakes that you don't want to make. Number one, in my opinion, is unnecessary expensive upgrades. And I've came across this issue many times. Many buyers simply don't care what you spent on upgrades. And in some cases, your custom expensive work will be perceived by buyers as a cost that they will have to pay to undo. Buyers care more about a clean and inviting curb appeal and a home with enough room for imagination. You have to give the buyer the opportunity to move in emotionally from the first tour of your home. And that comes with a bright, clean, and organized home. That can win more often than a cluttered, overly personalized one, because less is more. Less clutter and personalization gives the buyer that move-in ready feeling that they crave. And notice what's not on this list: how much you spent. And here's something that you can write down. Buyers buy the vision and the feeling of their future life. Buyers buy the vision and the feeling of their future life. Here's what buyers run away from. I've been in beautiful homes where some buyers refuse to finish the tour because of bad smells, or at least smells that were not perceived well. Here's what buyers run away from. I've been in beautiful homes where some buyers refuse to finish the tour because of bad smells, or at least smells that were not perceived well by them. And the challenge for you as a seller, especially if you've been living in your home for a while, is that you can't smell your own home because you're there all the time. So you need to get some honest feedback from people that don't live with you. And if there's no one able to help you with this, I'll do it for you. And I promise, I'll be honest. I've been in many homes and I have a lot of context that can help you. And here's a very important note, and you can write this down. Never try to mask a smell with perfumes, candles, scents, and so on. Buyers get even more suspicious when that happens. Now, I can build an entire training on this, but if you suspect any smells in your home, here's a quick checklist for you. Number one, pet urine in the carpet or in the carpet pad. Clean or replace that before you list. Old carpet, I would replace it. Moisture or mildew, fix the root cause. Dirty vents or HVAC filters, kitchen grease, drains or sewer gas, trash areas, old furniture, rugs, curtains, or mattresses, musty closets, or basements. If any of these issues are present, I suggest addressing the root cause, not the symptom, before listing. The goal is to present a home that smells clean, neutral, and feels well cared for. Another thing is anything that screams "fix me" drags down the value of everything around it. Broken cabinets, cracks in the wall, stains, cracks in the windows. I would address those obvious issues right away. But before you decide to spend money on significant renovations, let's tour the property together first, because I might be able to save you from spending money that buyers simply won't pay for. Also, a messy curb appeal and junk stored on the property or even on the neighboring property sometimes, even though the home is clean and taken care of on the inside, can turn buyers away. I've seen buyers get turned off by the curb appeal, and they perceived these properties as overpriced more often than not. Now, this might feel a little sensitive for some homeowners, but overly personalized decor can trigger some buyers. And this can be religious, cultural, and political symbols, stuffed real animals, unusual collections. And I have a funny story for you here. I toured a home where the seller had a massive dildo collection displayed for everyone to see. Although my buyers were amused, they were having fun, they walked away and took the property off their list because of that. The goal is not to erase your personality because your style is wrong. The goal is to create a neutral enough environment where the largest number of buyers can emotionally connect with the home and they don't feel like they are guests in someone else's life. So we're not going to erase your life. We're creating a blank canvas that is temporary, and it can actually add more money in your pocket. Now, let's recap real quick what can be a turnoff for the buyers. 4 main things. Number 1, smells. Number 2, a dirty home, clutter, and broken items. Number 3, a messy curb appeal and junk stored on the property or on the neighboring properties. Number 4, an overly personalized decor that can trigger some negative emotions or unease in some buyers. All of this is fixable. Most of it costs you very little. And if you want a second opinion, I'm happy to help. Now, let's get to the part that most sellers never hear about. And that is the unfair advantage that most sellers never get. Everything that I've shown you so far, the pricing strategy, the preparation, any good agent should do. But what comes next is what most agents in Utah simply cannot beat. And the number 1 is the pre-listing exposure. And here's what that means. We are a team of 253 agents. Each agent has about 1,240 contacts, which is a total of 313,000 combined reach. So your home basically builds an audience before it even hits the market. Because a sign in the yard, taking good photos, the MLS listing, that's just table stakes. It's the bare minimum every agent does, or at least they should do. But by the time most agents stick the sign in your yard, your home has already been exposed to over 313,000 contacts. And sometimes we already have offers in hand before the listing goes live on the MLS. And it's up to you whether you want to take those offers and run with them or wait to see how the market responds to the MLS listing. Here's how almost every home gets sold. The agent lists it on the MLS and then everybody waits. Hopefully a buyer stumbles across it and they come in with a good enough offer. We do the opposite. We build an audience early in the process. What you're looking at here is real content that my team and I create. Before your home is ever publicly listed, our agents are posting it on their personal Instagram, Facebook, TikTok accounts, and the audience isn't just made up of random followers. Each agent has spent years building an audience of interested people, buyers, future buyers, and people who know buyers. So while another home in your neighborhood is sitting on the MLS hoping to get noticed, your home already has people watching for it, asking about it, and requesting to come take a look at it. And with this approach alone, we generate thousands of showings every single year with real qualified buyers directly from social media, which can lead to a great offer coming through very early in the process. That's the difference between hoping that buyers find your home and putting your home right in front of the buyers. And let's be honest, many people spend time on social media, scrolling through content. Now let's talk about the content itself. And that's the advantage number 3, our in-house full production team. Think about drone shots, twilight photography, cinematic reels that stop the scroll. And you've likely seen those listings on the internet and thought to yourself, man, that home looks expensive. But guess what? That is going to be your home because we have our full-time production team of photographers, videographers, and we do all of that at no extra cost to you. Advantage number 4, we are one of the biggest Zillow partners in the nation, and Zillow Showcase applies to every home that we list. And that means 79% more views for your home, 76% more saves, 91% more shares, 10% more likely pending in 14 days. That means a higher chance to go under contract within 2 weeks of listing, 2% higher price, which is about an extra $7,000 in your pocket on average. And the truth is, less than 1% of listings on Zillow get showcased. But every single one of ours does. Advantage number 5, lender partnerships. We have strategic partnerships with some of the best lenders in the state that can help the buyer, but also they can help you expand your pool of buyers to sell faster. So let's look at this example. Same home, same price, $700,000. The only difference is we have a 2-to-1 rate buy down that can be covered by our partner lender for the buyer. So let's look at year 1. That buyer saves $834 a month. Over the first 2 years, your buyer would have over $15,100 saved in their pocket compared to the buyer who did not get that help. A buy down like this attracts way more buyers than a price reduction of the same amount because $15,000 price drop barely changes the buyer's monthly payment, but a $15,000 buy down changes it by about $630 a month. And that doesn't have to come out of your pocket. It doesn't have to hurt your net number. Plus, it expands your buyer pool. It pulls in buyers who are tight on cash, yet they can still afford to buy your home. They're qualified for the loan. And that's a negotiation tool that most listings simply don't have. So let's recap everything that you've learned so far. We talked about pricing strategically, which makes more buyers walk through the door. That makes buyers compete. That drives the value of your home up, which results in a higher net in your pocket potentially. We talked about proper presentation. You got to put yourself in the buyer's shoes. We have to help the buyer envision their future in your home without any major distractions. And when we do that, you will increase the odds to sell faster. We covered our unfair advantages, which honestly are pretty hard to beat. And by now, you likely have more knowledge than most sellers in Utah ever will. But here's the thing. Knowing all of this information is one thing. Having someone actually do it for you and come up with the right strategy for your home is another, because information alone without implementation does not mean anything. So I want to make this easy for you. If you are considering selling your home, I want to give you the opportunity to get a custom home sales strategy for your specific situation. Whether we end up working together or not, let's make sure that you are equipped with the right tools, right knowledge, and the right game plan. Plus, because you watch this training all the way, I have some bonuses that can help you moving forward. So for every homeowner who schedules a one-on-one home selling discovery session, which I'll show you how to do that on the next page, I negotiated a $300 discount on moving services from my trusted local partner for when it's time to move to your next chapter. And secondly, this is a big one. You will get a free custom market analysis. So after the discovery session, I will personally walk your property and your neighborhood and give you an accurate picture of what your home is really worth. And this is the same research I would use to price your home for a bidding war. And it will be yours to keep whether we decide to work together or not. Here's your next step. Book your free one-on-one home selling discovery session. Fill out the quick questionnaire. It's going to be a quick 30 to 40 minute Zoom call where I learn more about your situation, your timeline, and your specific goals. And after I have all the information that I need, I will create an accurate professional opinion of value. And you will walk away with your home's real market value and a custom selling game plan. So go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen or click the link right below this video. Grab a time that works for you, and I'll see you on the call. I'm excited to meet you and see if or how I can help you win in today's market. Take care.